All right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to see where this storyline is going to take us. So this is going to be a today's topic for the 15th. And let's just see, how do we begin? Justification. Find ways to contribute to causes by volunteering your time, sharing your knowledge, or using your voice. Um, I really like the idea of, this is, I didn't, until I read that, I wouldn't have thought that's what the justification was going to be supporting, like, justifying, like, hey, we all have like space on this planet, and we all have talents, and we all have unique gifts, and that we can use to kind of like spread and share and improve the world around us with the ability to share those gifts that we possess. So it's actually really nice. Maybe side note on that, so we have a character who's probably quite altruistic. They may be somebody who has an idea of something that they would really like to either like champion a cause, maybe something to do with kiddos, or maybe just something that they a baby can represent, like an idea that a character has, something that they want to do that would, like, I want to give this energy that I have somewhere. I'd like to do something like this. We have a Five of Wands, and we have the Judgment card. If a character is thinking about gifting or giving their energy somewhere, it's in a unique way. This is something that, God, I feel like they want to like help other people rise up, because we have a phoenix rising from the ashes on the Judgment card. It's like giving people a second chance, um, giving anyone a second chance. Maybe this is more the energy of the 15th. Second chances, contributing, helping, repurposing things, looking at and acknowledging that every human being, at one point in time, we were little bitty babies. And I think anybody who has like a real, if we can remember that although we're big people now, we probably still have a lot of the same needs as little people do. You know, we still need to be loved. We still need to be forgiven. We still need to feel supported. This almost feels like, because a character is in this very like giving energy, and this very I don't know, just a like, they're realizing, I have the power to make a difference in people's lives. Why don't I also extend that same desire to help? Why don't I extend that even to people that I've had conflict with? This is like taking a macro vision and shrinking it into a micro. So it's like, for the world, like, here she is, like probably I don't know, I look at her more like she's somebody who's in like a courtroom or something, like a lawyer, and she's like working a pro bono case. She's very glamorous also, but she's got a real power to her. She uses her brains and her beauty, and does good works. But in her fighting for causes, and giving, and maybe donating her time to good things, in that thought process, she's realizing, okay, I want the best for the people that I'm donating my time to, and I can afford a lot of people the concept that everybody deserves second chances. So why don't I now take that thought process home and put it right into my most like meaningful and interpersonal relationships? Because I feel like there's very much someone that she's had conflict with, someone that's really strong, somebody that she suddenly has this breakthrough, and she's like, you know what, I actually want to talk to them again. This is an offer. And it could be like, let me be gentle, let me be soft, let me be willing to talk things out, let me give this relationship a second chance, or this person a second chance, or a conversation a second chance. Let me see if this could rise from the ashes, and we could find harmony and balance. Because isn't it worth it if I can give everybody else second chances? If I'm so generous and altruistic, why don't I apply that not just for like the grand landscape of life and all humans, but let's do that same kind act for people that are close to us. Eight of Swords, yeah, it's somebody that she blocked out of her life. She's actually this is definitely a story about a feminine who is thinking about being generous with someone specific in her world. 6 of Pentacles sideways, 10 of Wands. I think she's the one who's going to be reaching out to somebody. I do. I think it's somebody she's unblocking. I think she just got over, like in one moment, she just had an epiphany where she let go of, you know, either the reason that she blocked somebody out of her world, said, you can't be here with me. I'll give strangers second chances. I'll do good works. I'll give all my energy elsewhere, but I won't do it for somebody that I know. I'll block them out. And then she's saying, wait a minute. No, I'm going to lay down that burden, the thing that made me upset to where I wouldn't give, maybe as much consideration to them. I'm going to now. Now, obviously, I don't believe she'd be doing this if it were someone who had, like intentionally tried to be unkind, cause her harm or something. But I do think that this is that's a pretty powerful message to, to do good works and be loving on the macro scale, but then bring that same energy into our own one-on-one relationships. We have a 5 of Pentacles and we have the Moon. I think what she hasn't known is just how much this person has, they have really missed her with that 5 of Pentacles. They feel like she's home. It's been a long time. Look at how long their hair is. Could be a masculine that she had blocked. It doesn't have to be like a romantic partner, though. This could be a friend. This could be a sibling. This could be anybody that she was like, nope, everybody deserves second chances, but not you. But wait a minute, maybe I should change that thought process. I think the fact that she doesn't know just how much this person has actually missed her, how much they have carried her around as like that's home to them. I really think they've stressed out over this a tremendous amount. Okay, but why is it that, I can see that she had blocked them for sure, but did they ever attempt to reconnect with her prior to now? 10 of Swords, oh no. No, she was long gone. 10 of Swords, she put an end to this and she moved on. And I feel like, I don't know if she has a wolf pack around her or if she has dogs or something, but she definitely moved on and, was surrounded by her protectors somehow. She put an end to this. I don't think that they had access to her. Let me ask, why did you feel the need to do that, though? Because maybe there was a good reason, Action of Wands and High Priestess, she says, because I believed that they were coming in and out of my life. They were acting like a player. Well, she doesn't want that. She doesn't have to let that be in her life, Chariot and the Hermit. And she's saying, but now I realize, you know what? After thinking about things, I can just move forward and I don't have to harbor hard feelings. Okay, so that's what this is. So she simply wants to go ahead and say, you know what? Whatever it was, I don't, if I said something rude to them, unkind to them, never speak to me again, go away, I don't need to end it that way. I think that's what's changed. She's like, you can move on from things without ugliness. You can move on from things. She believed, though, that they were in player energy or they were inconsistent. And so she didn't want anything to do with them. But now the fact that she gives all of these second chances to others, she's still not trying to make nice with them to give them second chances. I think she just wants to let things end on a nicer energy. But what's interesting is we saw that what she doesn't know is that they've carried a huge amount of that, she's home to me. And they've carried that around and had a big, kind of aching gap in not having her in their life. So what happens? Because I feel like she's going to be reaching out to them for sure. We have them again with the 5 of Pentacles. I don't know if it's been 5 years, but we have the 5 of Pentacles for them twice. They have been out there in the cold. We have a King of Pentacles sideways. We have the shadow side upright. Oh man, things have not been easy for them. And 6 of Swords upright. They, if they were acting like a player in the past, back and forth in and out of her life, it may very well have been they didn't have enough to be consistent with. They might have been struggling. They might have had a lot going on, a lot of fears to face, a lot of other I don't know, this is like kids that are hiding from the boogeyman. It just feels like, I mean, this is the devil. So really tough things that they were dealing with, that they were trying to move away from, come to terms with during the time when they were dealing with her. And that could have made everything off balance, everything. You know, they didn't have stability under them. They didn't have enough stability to offer something serious. They were very consumed with some super stressful situation in their life. What was it? Seven of Swords tempers, and they were lying through their teeth, acting like everything was fine. So they put up a good face to her. So she didn't know. She thought they were just happy-go-lucky and in and out of her life, when in fact they were like crippled with, you know, the, oh my God, what am I going to do? This is like the worst thing ever. But then to her, it was like smiles, acting like everything's fine. Ace of Cups sideways. This is somebody who, they were like on the verge of having some huge, like, well, they were in crisis actually, and trying to hide it. And that crisis was making them feel like really unworthy of almost anything at that point. But again, they kept trying to hide it. Three of Wands sideways, hoping that they'd pull up out of this, you know, nosedive thing that they were going through. So they just kept hoping that, okay, it's going to get better in a few days or in a few months, it'll get better, it'll get better. They kept hoping for change, hoping for an ending to their chaos that they were living through, but plastering on a smile when it came to, you know, whatever she did or didn't know was going on. Well, that doesn't help, right? If somebody hides everything that they're going through, it's really hard to know. Six of Cups sideways. And then it became one of those situations where it was like, I don't know, maybe I should just let this go altogether. If the stress won't end, then maybe what needs to end is just me trying to hold on to her. Well, I think she cut them out of her life. Let me see. Page of Swords, Page of Cups. She definitely cut them out of her life. She decided that either she'd gathered enough information to figure out that they were hiding something and they owed her an apology. There was something here where it's like, there's definitely something needed to be addressed. 10 of Wands. However this storyline evolved, it was definitely a situation where there was way too much burden. You know, they weren't able to communicate. They weren't able to get to the point. You know, she knew something was up, didn't know what it was, knew they were burdened by something, expected like, you should be apologizing, that I have to like become a detective to try to figure out what's going on. What is this huge burden? And it's like at that point in time, like everything went up in smoke. I don't know if all of a sudden just, you know, like everything exploded. Well, they went into King of Cups sideways mode. They maybe tried to say something like emotional, but I think it was too little too late. They tried to explain, you know, like, I do have emotion for you. Yeah, but Hanged Man in the reverse, she wasn't having any of it at that point. She wasn't going to see it from their perspective. She wasn't going to be able to walk in their shoes. And I think it's because there had already been, you know, like things that didn't add up, things that didn't make sense. And now it's hard to believe that somebody really cares when you don't know what the situation has been all this time. Ace of Wands upright, Eight of Pentacles upright. A lot of, I don't know, to me, this just looks like a transformation. She turned and said, I'm just going to go ahead and be really passionate about my work. And I think in her work, that's where she's been, you know, like really generous and really, you know, gives a lot of second chances and gives a lot of energy. And that has brought her full circle to thinking about this situation. She moved on from them, buried herself in work, wasn't having any of, you know, whatever they were trying to say to her. And I think she's come around to saying, wait a second, if I can be more understanding and maybe hear situations without like an emotional attachment, and maybe I should think about this situation with them a little differently also. Tell me if she just simply wants to like convey to them, look, I just don't want to end things ugly. I've been thinking a lot, like, I wish you well. She may be saying something like that to them, but we have the Four of Wands. So does she have an ulterior motive? Is she actually hoping that something could still come out of this? Because it says she believed that they were, no, Knight of Wands, but King of Wands is no, and it's yes. She really wanted them to be a King of Wands, but she keeps telling herself, no, I know that they're just a knight. I know that they're just a knight. Everything was off. They weren't being truthful with me. There's other stuff going on. But then there's this little shred inside of her that has changed. And it's like, I'm reaching out to them to tell them, hey, I just wanted to end things in a better light, better way, move on, wish you well. But then there's this piece of her, the real underlying cause is, God, I wish that they were my person, but they were just a knight, right? I mean, they couldn't have been a King of Wands, could they? I mean, they were probably just a knight. It's almost like now she's questioning herself. What if I got it wrong? What if what I assumed wasn't correct? I mean, yeah, they weren't telling me truth, but oh man, we got Lovers and we got the Eight of Pentacles. She's missing the heck out of them right now. She is missing them. She is missing the passion. She is missing them. Seven of Cups, and she doesn't know what to do about it. So she's kind of on the fence. Is she reaching out? Is she not? It's going to be her this time who reaches out to someone, but they have been very blue over her. Tell me about them. God, Judgment. They have wished and hoped for this for a very long time. Universe, give advice on this one, would you? Because Emperor and the Five of Coins in the reverse. The universe's advice on one hand is, if they are missing her so much, if they had all kinds of problems that they already didn't convey to her initially, then they kind of weakly, when she said, look, something's not adding up, then they kind of weakly said, yeah, but I do really care, but they weren't really owning it. Then in this story, and I'm not saying this is right, it's just what we got in the cards, so it's the only story I get to tell. If they really want this reconciliation and they really are missing her so much, and there was a lot of lack of communication before, this actually says, let them step forward, let them reclaim their own voice. If they're missing her because she's home, if they're truly empowered, they're going to come toward her and say, a lot of things weren't what they should have been before. A lot of things aren't the way it seemed. I should have explained it then. Let me explain it now. Let them step forward instead of her having to reach out to them, because it's almost like for them to show that they're the emperor, they're in charge of their life, allowing that to occur so they step forward. If this seems like it would be a wish fulfillment for both of them, honestly, she would want this, she would reciprocate this, but I think if she reaches out to them, there's still going to be a discord. It's like, see, now I'm the one who's still more powerful. I'm the one who's now, coming back around to you. No, it's kind of them who still needs to reach out to her according to this. Final message on this one. Ooh. We've got a Six of Wands. We've got a Knight of Coins. It's still going to take a little bit of time. Still going to take a little bit of time for them to be strong enough to go ahead and do this. But you know what? That's okay. I mean, it's better. Even though she's more open to this now, it's not her move to make. It still is theirs, is what this storyline said. All right, I'm going to leave that one there for better or worse. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, guys.